In this video, we're going to look at calculating relative formula mass. The relative atomic mass of an element is the average mass of one atom relative to 1/12 the mass of one atom of carbon-12. The relative formula mass is the sum of all the atomic masses of each element present in a chemical formula. The relative atomic mass of an element is a way of saying how heavy its atoms are. The symbol for relative atomic mass is capital A little r, AR. So sometimes you may be asked to find the AR or the relative atomic mass of an element. For example, what is the AR of iron, tin, and in these two we're just given the element's symbol. So to find the AR you would need a periodic table, and it would be the big number for the element in the periodic table. So for iron is located here on the periodic table. It has two numbers, 26 and 56. The AR of iron would be 56. For tin, the AR of tin is 119. The AR of bromine is 80. And the AR of palladium is 106. Now we're going to look at calculating relative formula mass, which has a symbol capital M little r, or MR. So in these three questions we have to calculate the MR of first water, then sulfuric acid, and then calcium hydroxide. So for water we would need to locate hydrogen and oxygen on the periodic table. Hydrogen has an AR of 1, but there are 2 hydrogen atoms in one molecule of water, so we would need to multiply the 1 by 2, and then we would add this to the AR of oxygen, which is 16, which would give us an AR of 18. For sulfuric acid, we would need to find hydrogen, sulfur, and oxygen in the periodic table. Hydrogen has an AR of 1, and there are 2 atoms of hydrogen in H2SO4. We would then need to add it to the AR of sulfur, which is 32, and then we would then add this to the AR of oxygen, which is 16, multiplied by 4 because there are 4 oxygen atoms in sulfuric acid, and this would give us a total of 98. So the MR of sulfuric acid, or H2SO4, is 98. For calcium hydroxide, we would need to find calcium, oxygen, and hydrogen in the periodic table, and then we would add the AR of calcium, which is 40, to the AR of oxygen, which is 16, but there's 2 atoms of oxygen in the formula. As you can see, the 2 multiplies everything in the brackets, and then we would add this to the AR of hydrogen, which is 1, which is also multiplied by 2 because it's in the brackets, and this would give us a total of 74. So the MR of calcium hydroxide is 74. Here's another kind of question you could be asked. Work out the unknown element X in this chemical formula, FeX3, and we're given an MR of 113. So how would you work out the identity of element X? Well, first you would start by finding iron in the periodic table. It's right here. It has an AR of 56. So we would do 113 minus the AR of iron, which is 56, and this would give us 57. Now, this is 3 times the AR of our element X. So if we divide this by 3, we get 19, and 19 is the AR of fluorine. So we've identified the unknown element X as fluorine. Let's try that again. Now we have to find the identity of element X once more, and we have an MR of 171. So we have XOH in brackets and 2. So we need to find the AR of oxygen and hydrogen. Oxygen is 16 and hydrogen is 1. We need to multiply the 16 by 2. And we need to add this to the AR of hydrogen multiplied by 2. And this will give us a total of 34. And then we do 171, take away 34, which gives us 137. Now we need to find an element with an AR of 137, and it's here, barium. So the unknown element was barium. Here's another kind of question you could be asked. To work out x in the formula, and it's a missing number instead of the identity of an element. So what we would need to do here is multiply 12, which is the AR of carbon, by 29. And we would need to add this to 1, which is the AR of hydrogen, multiplied by 32. And this would give us a total of 380. Then we would take away this total from the total MR provided to us in the question. So 588 take away 380, which equals 208. And then all that's left to do is divide this by the AR of oxygen, which is 16. And this gives us 13. So 13 is the missing number X. So the final chemical formula would be C29H32O13. Now I want you to pause the video here and try these 4 questions. Here are the answers. Like the video if you got them all correct.